absolutely delicious. Today I'm going to show how to make something I used to make way back in the day when I used to work on a ski mountain. All while camping. Soup, a dip, and a sandwich. I think I need a towel, Frankie. So good. Look at that. Packed with flavor. This video is sponsored by Two River Mushrooms. So just like back home, I'm still gonna do the same thing. Towel underneath the cutting board for safety and so it doesn't move. And I'm just gonna jam out some of these prep. I don't have time to wash these all, so I'm gonna pick out and do the best I can to remove the dirt and just wipe them, brush them. I'm gonna put them in here first. Get rid of this crap plastic. And then I'm just gonna wipe these quick. These ones are kind of dirty. Just make sure there's no big pieces of dirt on them. And this will be quick work. They do tend to fly around. And I try to do it as thin as I can. Some are going to be a little bit thicker. It's not perfect. I don't mind the different textures because it's all mouthfeel. So some are going to be super thin, some are going to be somewhat thick. If you're wondering what that is, so I'm staying at a hip camp and this is the storage. They have an outdoor shower right there behind, right there on that side, and a water spigot, and then I can hook up to electric and water. And there's a helicopter coming, so I'm going to change this. Post-edit Derek, just so you know, I am in Upper New Hampshire in the White Mountains at a hip camp, a really cool hip camp. That's where I'm making all this, so you have a feel for where we are. And it's a beautiful time of year. Foliage is gorgeous. Now I find when I'm cutting mushrooms, you just use the tip of the knife, not the big blade. You have more control and it can slice through here. Easier. We got all our mushrooms sliced for this. And we got Miss America sitting right there. Mushrooms. Next up, I got an onion. I'm just gonna do a quick julienne. I like to make sure it's always broken up in case some pieces are sticking together. All right, next up, I got a bulb of garlic, or whatever you call this, a bunch of garlic. 3, maybe 4 cloves. We'll say 3, good size. I was thinking 4, but these are pretty good sized cloves. I'm just gonna mince this. And I'm gonna leave this on the cutting board for now, to keep from having to use too many dishes. I do have a couple different burners. So I have this double one. This is the one I got that came with the van. And then I did bring my single burner, just in case. I only have 1 green tank of gas here, so if I run out, I still have that, and that has different ones. And then I also have my induction that's in the van. 2, 4, 5 burners. No, 2, 4 burners if I need them. Which I'm trying to just keep it simple. We'll see. This one it's gonna need 2 pans, maybe 3. I'm still cooking like I'm at home. I'm gonna get these both on low heat. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Today I'm using organic canola oil. I know so many people keep asking me what kind of oil I use. Whatever high heat oil is what I'm going to use. So you could use avocado oil, you could use coconut oil. I don't like coconut oil because I don't want the flavor of coconut in dishes that don't have coconut in them. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this here and there. So as long as the wind doesn't mess with me, I can keep these 2 pans on here, but if I have to put the wind guard up, it only holds 1. So I'm going to do the onions in this. And it's okay if it's not searing right away. It's on low heat. I'll crank that up a little bit. Crank this one up a little bit as well. I can already tell that the heat's going to be more in the center, less on the outside. So just to be aware of that. Guys, if I'm sharing too much information, let me know. But I'm just trying to talk through in my head why I do certain things and why try to at least understand certain bits. Like using your stove is a big thing. How your burners work, where the heat is focused on a pan so you don't burn, so you know where to sear, so you know how to push it to the side if you want it to cook a little bit less, more slowly or quicker. Yeah, just trying to be helpful. I'm gonna get all these mushrooms going. And I'm gonna turn this mushroom one up on a high because there's gonna be water coming out of these. These are going nicely. I'm just gonna cook these down. It's probably gonna take a good 10 minutes. While that's cooking, I'm gonna pick some herbs. Herbs with an H. So I just got a little roasting pack. It's got some rosemary, some thyme, some sage. I use a couple of these sage leaves. I'm gonna use a good portion of the thyme and 1 or 2 stalks of this rosemary. And the rest I'll save for another time. I love the smell of fresh herbs. And that's cooking away nicely. I'm just gonna bunch them up. Just give them a quick slice, dice. Release all those flavors. And I'll leave these on the cutting board as well. Now I'm gonna bring the tongs. I'm gonna stir these up. The mushrooms are good and they formed a nice brown crisp on the bottom, see? That's what I'm looking for. So I not only want them to cook down, but I want to get some color and some sear on those. The onions, I'm going to lower the heat a little bit more. Cook those a little bit slower. But I still want some color on these, I just don't want to burn them. I could have just did it all in one pan. I could. I want to build flavors. And if I cook it all in one pan, something's not going to build as much flavor as I want. Like if I just did the onions and then add the mushrooms on top of that, I wouldn't get the sear on the mushrooms that I'm looking for. That's the reason why I'm doing it with 2 pans. You can easily, no problem, it would taste great if you did it the other way, mushrooms on top of the onions, but I don't want just great, I want amazing. If I'm gonna spend the time to cook, I want it to taste freaking amazing. Right, Franks? Franks is mad at me because I'm not because I am not throwing her ball and I'm cooking. She is so judgmental. I have my black pepper. Probably gonna add a good 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a little bit to the onions. A little bit of salt now to the onions and to the mushrooms. Just a sprinkle. And we'll keep it super simple. I like the flavor of these brown, crispy mushrooms. Like that's gonna be delicious. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the mushrooms and to the onions. Now that it's cooked off the higher heat, it's on low a little bit there and there. And that's gonna soak up the fat, have a little bit more flavor in there that way. And also help bring out the sear. The more crispy brown bits, which I'm looking for. And the onions are looking really good. I'm gonna lower that heat to really, really low. I got one more thing I'm gonna slice up, and that's a block of tofu. I have a lid here to put these herbs on and the garlic. So we're gonna use these shortly. So I'm gonna make quick work of this because I have those other things going and I don't wanna waste time. So I'm just gonna slice this super thin. I might only use, oh, forget it, I'll use all of it. And this was the extra firm one, the one that's in the vacuum pack. It'll work well with this. Now this, obviously, just because I'm camping doesn't mean the rules change. Good girl. Good girl, baby. All right in there. And if you notice, I didn't wipe that cutting board because all it had was the herbs and the garlic, and I don't mind that flavor getting on the tofu. But now I'm going to clean it. I have some of this barbecue rub. I'm just going to add this right to it. Probably a good amount. I'm looking at a tablespoon here. Along with a squirt of olive oil. This onions are nice. They're getting nice and crispy. You can see that. Awesome. That looks great. And then the mushrooms are also beautifully brown. Look at that. That's some flavor in there. And I still want to cook those down a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more oil to this. And lower the heat. So I'm going to take these onions and add them right to the mushrooms now. Now that I know that they're all seared, that's on there. Still low heat. I got the tofu. I'll add a little bit of olive oil to this pan where the onions were. Then I'm going to add the tofu. It's on a low heat. And we got our mushrooms and onions. A ton of flavor in this right there. Gives you that browning and that crisping. Delicious. Great, this guy has soapy water, or soap and water, and a sponge. Camping made easy. Mushrooms. I'm going to add all those herbs and the garlic. Going to mix that in, cook that in. Now, we just kicked it up a big notch with that garlic and herb. Now one more thing. First, I'm going to stir the tofu. And it's okay if this tofu breaks up. I kind of want that. It'd be nice if it stuck together, but you know, we do what we do. And I'm going to turn this heat up a little bit more, a little bit faster. Get a nice sear on some of that tofu. Here's where this video is sponsored by Two River Mushroom. I'm working with these guys. First functional lion's mane broth that is on the market. It's sold in Sprouts, 450 Sprout stores across the nation. Plus you can order direct from them on their website, but Sprouts you can walk into and grab. This is the best broth I've tasted on the shelf, on a retail shelf. This is delicious. And we're gonna use a little bit more olive oil around the edges. Look at how beautifully brown and crisp this is. It's perfect. I mean, I could eat that alone, just like that. And the tofu is looking good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it right to the mushroom. And I'm going to lower the heat. Okay. Now, all the flavor of that mushrooms is also going to be added to the broth. But I already know the broth is delicious on its own, so this is just developing more of the local flavors of this particular dish in with this broth. Now this would be great as a soup if I just wanted to have it as a soup. Right, and I got the tofu. This is where my other pan's coming in. I brought this pan right here, handle, little baby Heston. And I got this. And I have my strainer. And I am going to strain this. Same thing, cast iron, even if I'm out camping. A little bit of water to rinse it. I got my paper towels right here, a little bit of oil. Yes, there's still some water in there, but whatever. I'm just going to wipe that out. Clean. Done. Done. Ready for the next time. Put that there to cool off. So by adding that liquid, not only did it help take all the flavors of what we were cooking and add them to that broth, which I'm letting it strain through now. it helps me clean the pan. I'm gonna shut this tofu off. I'm gonna add these mushrooms in with the tofu. So there you go. So the tofu and the mushrooms. Beautiful mixture. And I'm gonna shut that heat off. As I have those green onions, I'm just gonna make sure they're sliceable. That's the only waste on there, and just give a quick dice. Use all, but the little bit on the ends that are frayed. I'm also gonna dice this. Just gonna put these on this plate for now. I bought these in the bakery department of the grocery store. They were like $3.99, $2.99 for 4 of them. And I like the soft, squishy ones. And here's where I got a little bit of that vegan plant-based mayo. Just gonna do a quick swipe on each one. Just using the spoon I was stirring the onions and mushrooms with. Okay, I also have that vegan cheese. Guess who heard that? There's 3. I'm gonna need to open the new pack. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I have 4 slices. 4 slices. It's the smoked provolone. And you can use either the Follow Your Heart one or the Via Life is what I'm using. Yeah, I wouldn't dare make a sandwich without giving that to you. Good girl. You like that? You love it. Good girl. I'm just gonna fold it in half. 1, 2. Hold them in half. 1, 2. Get the mushrooms. If I can get 3, I'll get 3. If I can get 4, I'll get 4. But I want nice, hefty. I think that's a good sandwich right there. Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. And I might get 4. There's this one. Yeah, I'm gonna do 4. And that 4th sandwich, here you go, Frank's. I just can't not give her one. So much. Boom, 4. All right, so cast iron. I'm just adding a little bit of water here. Switch it around. It's not that hot, so. And I'm just gonna add that right to the broth. Since I used 2 cast iron pans, I'm doing it twice. A little bit of oil. Paper towel. Ooh. Ready for the next time. There's that broth, guys, boiling. Lion's mane broth. 2 rivers. I can't say enough good things about that broth. It's, like I said, it's the best. And this sandwich came up because I used to work at, let me sit down for this. I used to work at way back in the early 90s at the Schwindy Hut. It was on top of Waterville Valley, where I used to ski to work. So for, I think it was almost 3 or 4 seasons, I would work on the top of the mountain. So the restaurant was up top there. That's where I learned how to make a lot of soups. It's where I really honed a lot of knife skills. But one of the sandwiches we made was something like this. It was an alpine dip made with roast beef. You just soak the bun in a little bit of the broth and dip it, eat it. It was super simple, super plain. So this is just my take off of that, but plant-based. Broth is gonna be amazing. It looks fantastic. So I'm just gonna take some of these green onions and put them right on top. Like all of them. And then look at this. Oh, Miss America, I love you. Super hot. I can eat this as a soup later as well. For the sandwiches, I'm not going to eat right away because I made so many. It makes it easy for me for the next few days, especially camping. 2, 3. Wrapping them up. Store them right there. Tin foil. Now, when I do have a fire, because if I didn't mention there's a fire ban, no, it's too dry here right now, but either I can heat this on the engine manifold block when I start the car, just like I used to do when we were lobster fishing out in the ocean. We used to heat our food on the engine block. It's just the way to do it. So that would keep it warm enough, or on the side of a fire. Yeah, so anyways, I have these 3, plus what I'm gonna have for dinner. Super pumped. So I am gonna wrap up the one I'm gonna eat now because it helps hold it together. Instead of falling all over the place, I want it to be nice together. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Oh, I can actually sit down for this one. I'm not in my kitchen. Well, there you have it, guys. This is going to be amazing. So the broth is super hot, and even if the sandwich gets a little bit cooler, since the broth is like boiling, bubbling, I got to make sure I have plenty of paper towels. But look at that. Looks delicious. And I'm starving. Dump. Yum. Miss America's waiting for her dinner. Frankie's a little mad at me, but she'll get over it. Wow, so good. I can taste the mushrooms. The sear on those mushrooms is so good. And then you get the sear on the onions. And then you get the sear on the tofu. You could do it all in one pan like we discussed earlier. But if you want to build flavor, these are the techniques. Yes, it might take a little tiny bit longer. Have a couple more pans. I mean, I'm camping, you guys, and I'm not going to sacrifice the flavor unless it's a snowstorm and I'm cooking in the van and I need to like just stuff my face. But when I have the time, I'm building flavors all the time. There's no excuse for it in my case. So these are just some of the tips. Hopefully they're helpful. Hopefully this has been helpful. And that's delicious. The broth is so good. A wonderful broth just to sip on like this. I'll be doing more recipes with it, making some soups and such. But it's honestly so good, just on its own, so simple. Even as a dip for this alpine mushroom, tofu, onion, alpine dip. And it just seems like the perfect item for this kind of a day, fall foliage day. Last thing, you guys, take care of yourself. I know there's a lot of bad news out there and I'm not paying attention to too much of it. I'm just doing my thing, going to camping, sitting a lot, meditating, cultivating bodhicitta. Just love, wisdom, and compassion for everybody. We need that a lot more in the world. We don't need to be buying into the anger and hate. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. But if you like this video, you guys check out these videos here. And there'll be more. Frank, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me, oh, I love you. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.